Everyone wants to chase big goals until doubt creeps in. That little voice in your head that says, what if I fail? Or am I even good enough? I know that voice. I heard it in my own head before making some of the biggest decisions of my life. But I also know something else. Doubt is a liar. Fear is a liar. And today I'll show you how you can push through it. I'll break down 3 powerful strategies that help you take action despite the fear. These are the exact methods that I used to make massive career shifts, start new ventures, and take risks that paid off. For 30 years, I've been making bold moves and coaching high achievers. I've seen exactly how doubt can stop people, but most importantly, how they break through it. Section 1. Why doubt happens. First, let's get something straight. Fear and doubt are totally normal. They exist for a reason. Our brains are wired for survival, not for success. They want to keep us safe and comfortable and away from that risk. That's why every time we take a step towards something ambitious, that warning light goes off in our head. Then there's old reliable imposter syndrome. That feeling that you're not qualified, that you don't belong, or worse, that someone's going to call you out. It happens to the best of us. I've seen high performers and top executives battle with this. And let's not forget the fear of failure. Actually, most people aren't afraid of failing. They're afraid of looking stupid. They're afraid of wasting time. But here's the truth. As we say in the development world, failure is a feature. It's not a bug. It's a part of everything we do. Honestly, I can share multiple personal stories about the fear of failure, doubt, and how it's held me back so many times. Like every step of my career, I had imposter syndrome. Most recently, when I branched into leading the AI business, I always was worried that someone was going to call me out because I didn't know everything about AI. But AI moves so damn quickly that it was impossible for me to know everything. I'm pretty comfortable with enough of it that I can talk in front of groups of people and rally my team and hire people that are even smarter than me. That's the whole point of leading a group. But I had to speak at a conference of super smart people, and I was very worried because I thought this is the moment. This is the moment that someone's going to point out that I really don't know enough to be this leader. And I was worried. I had done my own research, and I was pretty knowledgeable, of course. But when I got there, I delivered quite well. And afterwards, someone actually said, man, it's clear you're an expert. It's clear you really know your stuff. And I felt pretty proud after that. But going into it, I had so much fear. I had so much doubt. I'm just letting you know it happens to everyone. Make failure a part of the plan. Most people think failure is the opposite of success. It's not. Failure is a part of success. Every successful person I know has failed more times than they can count. The difference is they planned for failure. They knew it was coming, so they weren't surprised when it happened. I'll share a quick personal story of when I failed miserably. We were moving from Denver, Colorado to Washington, D.C. And I was moving a family of 5. So me, my wife, my young kids, 3 young kids, and 2 dogs. We were moving 2 vehicles and a U-Haul worth of stuff. It was actually a small trailer. We had sold nearly every large piece of furniture, and we got our lives down to a decent-sized U-Haul trailer. Honestly, it was pretty heavy, though. I had it packed pretty good. And I was pulling that U-Haul trailer with a minivan. This is 15 years ago when I was driving to Washington, D.C. And in Indiana, it was actually Illinois, but honestly right on the border, the whole thing came apart. The minivan that I was using to pull that U-Haul just started smoking, blew the transmission, oil and everything on the highway. We're stuck on the side of an interstate with, again, a family of 5 and 2 dogs, a van that is seriously broken down, and all of our stuff attached to that van. We were floored. My wife and I could not possibly contemplate how to get us out of that. And we just stood there. We weren't crying. We actually got our heads together pretty quickly and realized we're all safe and we're going to figure it out. But I will tell you that that moment changed us forever. That failure was so significant, but it led to us figuring out the steps to get out of it that all led to my success today. Because how we handled that failure as a couple, and of course as a family, is still something we refer to today. We knew that that was not going to take us down, that that moment is something that we could figure out. Instead of fearing failure, expect it. Ask yourself the question, what would I do if I failed? Answering that helps take the fear out of it. Strategy 2, take the next smallest step. Doubt thrives in overthinking. Action kills it. The longer you analyze something, the stronger your doubts get. The solution? Shrink your challenge down to its smallest actionable step. This I Can't Hear You YouTube channel that you're watching is a part of a bigger project. It's a large community that I want to build to help people achieve goals, take risks, and grow their skills. But I couldn't start it all at once, so the YouTube channel was something that I knew I could take action on. But even that was challenging for me. I wasn't necessarily overanalyzing it, but I was just afraid of the fear. I was afraid of the embarrassment. I was afraid of it not being successful. I'm not saying in any way that it's successful already, but the progress that I made by just taking action has helped kill the doubt. Of course it creeps in, but then I just take more action. And I truly recommend that approach. You don't need to see the entire staircase. You just need the next step. Right now, think about your biggest goal. And what's one action that you could take toward it today? Drop that in the comments. I'd love to talk about it. Strategy 3. Borrow confidence from your future self. If you're doubting yourself today, imagine yourself a year from now. Imagine you're that person that's already succeeded. What advice would they give you? It's worth bringing up that move from Denver to DC again, because my future self would love to talk to that person that was contemplating that decision and making sure they knew how right it was. Listen, we had moved multiple times before, and we ended up finding our way back to Denver. I was born and raised in New York, my wife in Wisconsin. We had met in Denver, but we had moved from there, but just found our way back. It's just like the city that just kept drawing us back. So when we were deciding to leave again, it was challenging. We did not want this one to be a miss, and so we hesitated, but the decision has been the best of our lives. So when you're just not sure, just think of that future self. Think of the person that you know you can become, and just tell yourself to go for it. I promise you, taking risks, making those big moves, it's challenging. And yes, sometimes they don't work out. But when you bounce back, it's always worth it. That failure, that lesson learned, honestly, it's so good. I make so many mistakes on this YouTube platform. So many times the audio isn't even on when I shoot a video. It's just part of the process. It's growth. Failure, doubt happens to all of us. Just think about that future self and just tell yourself, do it. Take those actions today. That future version of you already knows you can do it. Borrow that confidence from them. Start acting like that person today. Doubt isn't proof you should stop. It's proof that you're growing. The only way past it is through it. The one difference between those who succeed and those that don't is one group felt the fear and took action anyway. Now it's your turn. What's that one goal you've been hesitating on because of doubt? Drop it in the comments. We'd love to talk about it. And if you're serious about overcoming fear and taking action, we'd love you to subscribe and check out the rest of the channel. It'll give you even more strategies to push forward. And don't forget, I'm live every single day at 9 a.m. Washington, D.C. time, where I bring you the 9 at 9. Let's grow together every day. Talk to you tomorrow.